East Durham Veterans, good evening and welcome to our weekly update. Well, actually tonight is going to be a 3-weekly update because it's been 3 weeks since I've done one, and that's just because it's been a busy time, to say the least, for East Durham Veterans Trust and all the work that we're doing for the veterans community at the moment. And also, not just the veterans, but the veterans families as well. We mustn't forget about the veterans families because we do so much to support veterans families as well as veterans. It comes as a complete package for us, and we're happy to support the veteran community. Anyway, we're going to crack on with stuff we've been doing, stuff we've got coming up, and obviously we're going to have a quick chat about our groups and what's happening with them and all that sort of great stuff as well. So we're going to start with some stuff that's coming up. So starting off with Oktoberfest. That's this Saturday coming up, Saturday the 19th of October. Is Oktoberfest for East Durham Veterans Trust. That event is now sold out as of this afternoon. So Oktoberfest for East Durham Veterans Trust is a complete sellout. Thank you very much for everyone that's been in contact and everyone that's purchased a ticket. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic night at East Durham Veterans. We've got all sorts going on for Oktoberfest. We've got fun and games. We've got entertainment going on. You've paid your money. You come in. You get a stein. From that stein, we'll fill it up for you for free for your first pint. Then after that, you have to buy your beer. The beer on draft is the one and only, the sensational Warsteiner. Wobbly on draft, a classic German beer. And if you ever served in Germany, you'll know all about Warsteiner. And it's amazing. It's amazing taste. It's one of my favorites, as you can probably tell. But we've got Warsteiner on draft. We also giving away breakfasts, and after you've had one, you can buy your second one. All that sort of good stuff that we've got going on for Oktoberfest. And that's this Saturday the 19th. We're encouraging people to come in fancy dress up as you would for an Oktoberfest. Come along and just really enjoy the evening. It's going to be fantastic. The hall's going to be done out. It's going to be a great evening for everyone to come and enjoy. So that's this Saturday the 19th of October. If you've got your ticket, I'll see you on Saturday. If you haven't, I'm very sorry. It is now a complete sellout. It is gone. Next thing we've got to talk about coming up in the future, but this is not until next year. It's our trip to Normandy. So we're going up to Normandy for the D-Day celebrations in the first week in June. That trip is now full. Okay, so the trip is now full. Now, I know there's a lot of people still emailing saying we'd like to come along and stuff like that. It's my understanding that we might possibly do a second trip, or we might possibly look to put a coach on rather than the minibuses. Those are two possibilities. Not saying either of them are going to happen, but that's something we're looking at the moment. But as it stands at the moment, the people that are down, 20-odd people have put the names down, they've paid the deposits, and that's who's going on the Normandy trip. Deposits were non-refundable. However, if someone does drop out, I will advertise those spaces, see if anyone wants to come in and take their space. As it stands at the moment, though, the Normandy trip next year, first week in June, where we're going to be going there for 5 days, is completely full now. It is completely full, and everyone's paid the deposits. Okay. So that's two things we've got coming up in the future. Let's talk about a few things that's happening now. So this week, JoJo's Designs have brought in our new merchandise. So we've got our new merchandise in East Durham Veterans Trust with T-shirts, new polo shirts, all got our new logo on as well. And we've got hoodies in there as well. All right. So everything's in stock now. So if you do want to do one in East Durham Veterans Trust polo shirt, T-shirt or hoodie, please get in touch. The polo shirts are £15. The T-shirts are £15 and the hoodies is priced at £30. Okay, so you can get them by either going online on our website, www.eastdurhamveterans.co.uk, or you can also come straight down to the Veterans Hub and then purchase direct from come to the main office and purchase direct from there. So we've got that going on now. What else have we been up to? So we've been up to a few things over the last few weeks. We had a visit from 4 Regiment Royal Artillery, which was absolutely fantastic. So 4 Regiment Royal Artillery came in. Now, if you remember last year, Mission Christmas that we did for the wheelchair, 4 Reg really supported us with that. And they've now got the township of Seam, so they've got the freedom of Seam, obviously where East Durham Veterans is based, where our headquarters is. They've got that as well. So they're doing more things around the town, and they want to come in and pay. They paid a full day visit actually to Seam, but they spent the morning with East Durham Veterans Trust. They came in, we gave them a presentation, all on veterans and East Durham Veterans, what we do and all that sort of great stuff. We got awarded a lovely photo from the battery commander, which was great. We then went off to a nursing home. We had a couple of groups within the trust as well that we did with the lads and lasses from 4 Reg. Then after that, they went to the town hall, had some dinner, and they did some amazing work around Seam, cleaning up around Tommy, around the cenotaph and stuff like that. So, they were boots on the ground doing stuff for the town of Seaham, for the veteran community, which was absolutely amazing. Hopefully we'll welcome them back in the future real soon. I know they're going to be here for Remembrance Day in Seaham. I do believe they're firing a gun off in Seaham. So, they'll be back then. But we've had a visit of 4Reg, and it was absolutely brilliant. Really, really good visit. Other stuff we had going on this week, I've been to the Armed Forces Covenant Conference down in London. Amazing day. Got to spend the day with my friends from Hull for Heroes, with Paul and Helen, also our friends from the Defence Medical Welfare Service as well. Michelle was down there, and we had a great day with the whole bunch on our table, and learned some really valuable lessons about what's going on in the veteran landscape. Learned some new stats that have come out. For example, King's College just released a statistic about PTSD within the veteran community, and how 9% of veterans now, I'll rephrase that, how 9% of veterans are believed to have be suffering with PTSD, and that's compared to 4% within the civilian population. Previously, it always thought it was the same. They always said it was 4% and 4%. Now it's 9 for veterans and 4 for the civilian population. Learned a lot about what's happening in hospitals and the program the Armed Forces Covenant's being running there. We had some fantastic speeches as well. The chairman of COPSUO, Lieutenant General Sir Nick Pope, retired. I love listening to Sir Nick. I just think he's a guy who just talks absolute sense, and when others are up there and I don't agree with it, Sir Nick stands up and he talks absolute sense about, and he knows exactly what's going on in the veteran community as well. He broke a lot down about veterans charities and how much money's in the military charity sector for veterans. Just to give you a quick insight of that, just off the top of my head, so it's 1,700 military charities across the UK. But he broke it down saying, look, 700 of them are stuff like, like ships, camps, stuff like that. That's the first 700. The next 500 is actually associations. So it's associations from like the regiments, so the Royal Signals Association, the Fusiliers Association, all these sorts of things. They make up the next 500, yeah. So it limited down that there's 500 across the United Kingdom. And then he spoke about the money that's involved. So it's believed that there's £1 billion a year within the military charity sector. Where he brought that down again. He said, look, at 25% of that is RBLs. So RBL get 25% of that 1 billion. And then obviously he spoke about the next big players, the SAFers, the combat stressors of this world, all them sorts of things then came down to little charities, and we pretty much get not a lot, to say the least. But yeah, it was brought down brilliantly, and I really like listening to Sir Nick. Did some workshops down there as well, which were really, really good. And just all in all, it was just a great day. Met some fantastic people. Met people who were heading up the VPPP. Obviously, we know the guys and girls who were heading up ours up here in the northeast, but also the ones in Wales and the ones in the south. And I met the guy who's heading up the one in the south, a guy called Keith. And I just had a great conversation with him. We were talking about charities, and we were talking about sustainability, because that's what one of the workshops was. It was sustainability of smaller veterans charities, basically. How can we sustain East Durham veterans? And it was really good, some of the ideas and comments he had regarding that. And it's something I've definitely taken on board, and I'm going to be applying to East Durham veterans within the coming weeks and months ahead. So that was an absolutely excellent conference. What else have we got going on? We've had some great news over the last few weeks. So we've received some funding, for 2 massive funding pots we've received, actually. First one's from the National Lottery, and that was for just over £17,000. And that was for our holistic support. So holistic support is what the caseworkers do. So the caseworkers do holistic support when they support people with housing, with PIP claims, with benefits, compensation, armed forces pensions, all that sort of stuff, as well as staying in contact with vulnerable veterans, and making sure they're all right, and, making them feel the love and letting them know that we're still there for them. So we had that funding from the National Lottery. Then the last couple of weeks, we've received some fantastic news from the Veterans Foundation. So the Veterans Foundation will give us just over £37,000. And again, that's for our holistic work that we're doing. That one's based over 2 years. Okay, so it's not just based on this year, it's based over the next 2 years. So this time next year, we'll get another lump sum off them. So we've had just over £17,000 this week off them. This time next year, we'll submit the report saying how that money's being spent. And once they're happy with that, they'll then give us the second part of that financing, which is absolutely amazing for us, because talk about sustainability, we've got funds in place now where we've got multi-year grants coming into East Durham Veterans Trust, and it makes it sustainable for us, and it takes a bit of pressure off us. At the same time, knowing we're going to be there for the future, but also for the veteran community, knowing that East Durham Veterans Trust is working really, really hard in the background to make sure we're there. You know, we've supported just over 850 veterans since we started just over 4 years ago. We want to be there for the next 850. Okay, so that's what this funding does. It allows us to keep thriving and keep working and keep supporting the veterans and the veterans' families as we go. So that's some great news that we've had coming in. And finally, we're just going to finish off on the groups and what's going on with all our groups, our social inclusion groups, which is one of the big things that we do at East Durham Veterans Trust. So obviously, we've got the counsel and the mental health support, the holistic support, but please don't take anything away from the social inclusion work we do within the veteran landscape. And we've got a number of groups coming on. I'll just tell you a quick story. I was just travelling down to London on Tuesday evening, and I was on the coach, and I bumped into a guy who was ex-para-reg, ex-2 para, and he transferred from 2 para to the med corps, and he now goes around teaching trauma to different places around the UK. But basically got talking to him, you know, and he says, you know, I go to Armed Forces Day and I go to this tent, they say, going to do that for us, this tent's going to do that for us. He says, some places I don't want any help. He says, I just want to go in and have a laugh, have a bit of banter, have a brew, you know, and just share stories. And that's exactly what our social inclusion groups do. Yeah. Social inclusion groups are great for coming in, having a bit of banter, having a laugh, having a brew. If you come on a Friday, you get a meal at the same time, you know, and also supporting one another. And we've seen friendships form from them, which has been absolutely amazing to see. But our groups this week, then starting tomorrow, Monday, we've got the gardening group on. That's at 10 o'clock. You meet the Veterans Trust at 9:45 or down at Parkside Allotments for 10 o'clock. At the moment, going on down there, doing a lot of stuff in the winter. They're currently in the middle of putting a brand new fence up to secure the plot. Once that's done, they're going to be starting working on the new shed that's going to go up, and then the old shed will be taken down, and then we'll really start to see things happening ready for the start of 2025 and the veterans allotment. And we want to be next year producing, you know, vegetables and fruit and plants and stuff like that out of the allotment. So that's what's going on down there. They do need more help, more support. So if you are free and you want to go down, and you know, you might think, well, you know, I've got this ache, I've got that pain, I can't really do a lot. It doesn't matter. Just come down and just have a laugh and just, you know, stand around talking. There's a fire that'll be going on, and some of the guys just stand around the fire because they're in that predicament where they cannot really do a lot, but they do a lot of moral support by just being there for one another and just bouncing off one another. So we've got the gardening on, and then after the gardening tomorrow, we've got peer support group. The peer support group's with Bonnie tomorrow. That's on at 12:30. And that goes for about an hour. And that's a great opportunity to come in, share experiences, share stories. You know, any struggles, any wins that you've had over that week, it's a great opportunity to share them. And obviously, Bonnie directs that group on a Monday at 12:30. Fast forward then to Tuesday night, we've got the art hub that's on. That's on at 6:30 till 8:30 every Tuesday night. All sorts going on in the art hub. So there's obviously art, as you would expect, drawing, painting, sketching, charcoaling. There's some crocheting going on. I think there's some Christmas wreath stuff going on there at the moment. You know, there's clear work, there's woodwork, there's all sorts goes on in the art hub on the Tuesday night. So if you are free on the Tuesday and you want to try it, come down. It's free for veterans. If you're not a veteran or veterans family, then it is a £5 donation to pay for materials and stuff that comes in there. Carbon Homes as well is sponsoring that at the moment. And they're sponsoring that. I think we've got about 6 or 7 months left of their sponsorship, which has been really gratefully received. So that's who's sponsoring the art hub at the moment, which is amazing. So everyone's welcome to come down for the art hub. That leads us on to Wednesday. Wednesday, we've got the walking group. Meet at the Veterans Hub for 9:15 in the morning. And Butch and Pete take the walking group out. This week, they're going to Hardwick Hall. They'll have a walk around Hardwick Hall, and then it'll finish off with a few brews or a few wets if you're in the Navy, in the Marines there, you know. And obviously that's all paid for, so you don't put your hand in your pocket. They go for a walk, have a bit of a bimble, have a bit of a chat, a bit of a natter, get some fresh air, get some steps in, and then finish with a brew. Okay, that leads on to Thursday. We normally have a photography group. Unfortunately, the photography group won't be on this week, as I am not available to take it, because I normally take the photography group out. But that'll be coming back in the future, so just watch out for that. And that'll lead us on to Friday, where we've got Fun Day Friday. Every Friday within the Veterans Hub, you know, all sorts go on. It starts at 10:30. We've got the model mating, we've got the We've got the craft side of things. We've got a bit of music off Carl that plays his guitar and gets a nice atmosphere going on in there. We've got woodwork that happens in there. And when all that's finished around about 12 o'clock, we then serve a free meal. I'm unsure what the free meal is at this point. However, I know this week we just had venison stew, which was absolutely beautiful. And so that's Fun Day Friday, and that happens every Friday. Every Friday we give you a free meal. Don't ask for a donation. Don't ask you to throw a pound in or anything like that. It's totally free. And we've done over 1,500 meals so far this year, totally free. And that's alongside our friends at Dordon Youth and Community Centre, which has been amazing. And that leads us on to Saturday. Saturday morning will be coffee morning. We'll have free bacon buns on the go in the Veterans Hub. Then on the evening, if you've got a ticket, it's Oktoberfest. But like I said, Oktoberfest is now sold out. It's finished. No tickets remaining, unfortunately. So that's what we've got going on, East Durham Veterans. That's our 3-weekly update for tonight. But I'll try and get back on next week to do a more regular update to let everyone know what's happening at East Durham Veterans, what we've been up to, where we've been, and what's going on in the veteran landscape. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Thank you.